Hello YouTube! Chef Jess here in the kitchen, and today we are going to be making a really gorgeous cake. It's actually called a Donauwelle. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. It's a German cake and it's comprised of a few different layers. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to Vegan Gastronomy. So here I'm doing a lot of R&D in the kitchen. And what we're actually doing is creating a whole series using one of the egg replacers that I've developed that we use here at the Academy, that we use in some of our recipes in class, in addition to a lot of businesses around the world using it to replace eggs. So this is one of the recipes that we're going to be making today with Pastry. So this is our German Donauwelle, or it's also known by a couple of other names as like a wave cake or the Snow White cake. And what it's actually comprised of is 3 layers. So the 3 layers is, so the first base layer, it's kind of like a sheet cake. So a sheet cake is like a cake that's cooked in like a big tray. I'm actually going to be using this frame. And the sheet cake is usually a pound cake. But we're going to be doing something a little bit lighter than a pound cake, so a little bit of a take on this one. And it's going to be swirled and marbled with chocolate and vanilla, and then some cherries, of course, because it is a cherry season here in Europe right now, so we're going to be using some beautiful cherries. And on top of that, after our cake is cooked and cooled, we're going to be putting a buttercream on here, but not any buttercream. It's going to be a German buttercream. And we're going to go through how to do that completely vegan as well. And then last but not least, it's called the wave cake because it has a beautiful chocolate ganache topping which has like a wave pattern. So we're going to get started with this cake. If you have logged onto our channel before and saw the Victoria sponge cake that I made the other week, the base cake is very similar to that, and I've used that recipe because it worked so well and it was so easy. So if you're not a subscriber to the channel, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and subscribe because I'm always giving out lots of free recipes. Oh, we're just back on. Yeah, so check out the website vegangastronomy.com to check out any of my classes, both online and in person, and we go through so many different pastries and lots of different baked goods. So, okay, we're going to get started making our cake. So I'm going to bring you guys a little bit closer and show you what we've got here. Alrighty. So, to make our cake, super easy as I said. In my mixer here, all I have is some margarine. So I'm using, you want to try and find like the highest fat dairy-free margarine that you can in your grocery store. This is just a Flora one. And you want to look for something around 70% fat. And then to that, we basically want to add pretty much all our ingredients. So it's literally that simple. So I'm going to put this back a little bit so you can see a bit better. Okay, so I have this is actually some self-raising flour. So this is flour which already has the leavening agent in there. And then in addition to that, we've also got some baking powder. So as I mentioned, like traditionally it would be a pound cake. But we want to make this a little bit lighter, and I loved how the Victoria sponge cake recipe turned out the other week, so we're going to kind of use this as like our base cake. So I've just sifted those two. We're going to put those straight into our bowl. So yeah, literally just dump it in. I also have here some caster sugar. Now here in Spain, we can't actually get caster sugar. So all I did is I put this through my food processor for a couple of minutes just to make it nice and fine. So it's going to melt into our batter a lot easier. So we're just going to dump that straight in. And the quantities of each of these, if you want the recipe, I will be putting it into the description box below. Okay, to that, we also have our vegan egg replacer. So as I mentioned, we're using the Pastry egg replacer today. So that just comes in. You can purchase this if you want to just try a sample. You can get it on vegangastronomy.com, or if you want to buy packs of 7, you can get them on freefromthat.com. And what's unique about this ingredient is it replaces all 8 major functions of eggs, so you can use kind of egg-heavy recipes with this product. Yeah, so as I mentioned, in my pastry courses, we also go through conventional egg replacers, but on this channel, I'm showing you how to use this product, and as mentioned, you can use it for kind of like egg-heavy recipes to replace eggs. So because this is very similar to a pound cake, where you have like equal quantities by weight of everything, it uses a lot of eggs, so it means it's doing a lot of functions, so you do need a really good egg replacer. So I've just mixed that up with water, equivalent to how many eggs that I needed, and I just set that aside for about 20 minutes. So I'm just going to put that straight in to my mixer as well. It's going to be a little bit thicker than an egg, so don't worry about that. It's still going to do all the jobs we're looking for. So it's going to bind, it's going to emulsify, it's going to coagulate, it's going to do a bit of leavening as well. So lots of things going on there. And another thing I have is a little bit of vanilla extract. In the traditional recipe, I didn't really see vanilla extract, but I just wanted to put it in because I think it just gives it a little bit more flavor. Alright guys, so I'm going to get this going on the mixer. Basically at this stage we just want to mix everything until it's just combined. I'm not adding any salt to my cake recipe because I do find a lot of those dairy-free margarines already have quite a lot of salt in them. So we're not going to do that today. Alright, so I'm going to start on low. So we just kind of want to get everything just mixed together right now. And if you guys have any questions, you can pop them in the description below if you're watching live right now or if you're watching this recorded. So throughout this series, we are going to give away lots and lots of free recipes in addition to lots of techniques that we teach both in the pastry and the baking classes here at Baking Astronomy. Alright, let's have a look here. It's looking good. We'll give the bowl a bit of a scrape down. Now we don't want to overwork this mixture because we don't want to activate the proteins, which is the gluten in the flour, because otherwise that's how you get a really tough cake. So we just want to work it as little as possible. Alright, back live guys. So also just to note, everything we had is at the same temperature. Super important, make sure that your margarine is at room temperature, everything is at room temperature. So that looks all fully mixed right now. I'm just going to scrape it down again. And then we're going to put this on medium speed for just 30 seconds. Alright, so let's get that on. Have I got anyone from Germany watching right now? Have you had this cake before? Am I pronouncing it correct? It's one of my favorite things going to Germany is the pastries there are amazing. Alright, so I'm happy with that. We've got our 30 seconds. So if during that period, that short period of time, it would have whipped up a little bit. So that's what we're looking for. Alright, so we just want to scrape everything off. Now, I mentioned that with this cake, it's actually kind of like a marble down the bottom layer. You might have seen in the photographs that we've posted for this video. So it's like a marble of chocolate and vanilla, or like the white cake. So what we're going to do right now is just take out half of this mix and put it in our frame. I'm just going to grease this a little bit. Alright, so I just got my olive oil spray. And these frames are awesome. You can actually expand and contract them. I've just put some paper stickers on there to get it to the size I'm looking for. Okay, so I'll get you guys down a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so we are going to put in half of our mixture of our beautiful fluffy cake mixture. I think that's about half. And now we just want to spread this out, guys, and that's going to make our base layer. What I like about this version of the pound cake is it's a lot lighter. So this was the same one that we did for our Victoria sponge cake. And this is a good one for cupcakes too. Alrighty, so I'm just kind of like roughly doing it for now. And then you can grab yourself one of these pastry knives and just kind of level it out a bit better. Alright, that's looking good. Give it a bit of a tap. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next part. I'm just going to pop this aside for a sec. So now we're going to make our chocolate layer. So really simple to make the chocolate layer. What we're going to do is add some cocoa powder. And it's so important that you sift this, guys, otherwise you'll have lumps of cocoa in there. So please make sure you sift it. So we're going to sift that straight in. And you want to use the toasted cocoa powder, don't use the raw cocoa powder. And in addition to that, in the recipe it calls for rum, but I actually had some, because this is a German cake, we actually have some Kirsch here at the Academy, because in my pastry course we actually make Black Forest cake, and this is one of the signature ingredients in the Black Forest cake, so I thought it'd be a nice addition to add a little bit of Kirsch for flavour. So we're going to add that in. So just folding it through. Make sure we get all those bits of chocolate. And then you could do the same, like if you just wanted to make like a nice simple vegan chocolate cake, you could do the same thing. Just double the quantity for your cocoa powder and just put it through the whole lot. And if you don't want to use alcohol, just use some plant milk or some water. That's fine. Okay, so we're getting it nice and mixed up now. It's almost done. As mentioned, we don't want to overwork it, just to make sure that we're scraping down the bottom, getting everything in. Alright, that's looking good, I think. Yep. So we have our lovely chocolate mixture. A little wipe down here. Alright, so we're going to bring over our cake again. Okay. Move this out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to put the chocolate cake part on. So you don't want to put this, you don't want to dump the whole lot of chocolate right in the middle because you'll never be able to spread it. So the best thing to do is to take little blobs, like 2 or 3 tablespoons sort of thing at a time. And we're just going to distribute that around on our cake. Make it much easier to spread. And what's really beautiful about this cake is when we cook it, when we put the cherries on top of this, it creates this beautiful wave, and that's where we get the name of the cake. So that's our wave cake, or our Donauwelle. Alrighty. We don't want to waste any of that cake. Alright, that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of do it roughly with section below, guys, like if there's a vegan cake that you've been wanting to veganize, or something that you saw perhaps in your travels that you've always wanted to know how to make. Always love a challenge. We're working on the Japanese jiggly souffle cheesecake at the moment, which is a lot of fun. Okay, so again, we're going to go spread this out. Give it a bit of a jiggle. Down a bit. Okay. So next we are going to put our cherries on top, and I went to my local greengrocer this morning. So lucky here in Spain, we have local greengrocers everywhere, and cherries are in season, so I have a ton of cherries here. And I wanted to show you a quick little tip of how to get the pips out, because I know this can be a real pain in the butt if you don't have one of those little guns. I do have one at home, but I don't have one here at the academy. If you can tell by my accent, I'm from Australia, but we're here in Spain. So what I've got here is, so when you get your Japanese, your sushi, pick up an extra couple of the chopsticks here. And what you want to do is take your cherry, and that part that I just pulled off, so see, I just pulled that part off. You want to get the blunt end, put it here, and I like to hold it over my bowl. Just kind of hold it between your fingers. And look, some are going to be easier than others. Oh, there we go, see? It just popped right out. Okay. I'll do another one for you guys. So you just hold on to it nice and tight between your fingers, and then just using the blunt end of a chopstick, you want to just push that lovely shape. Yeah. I'm not sure if we went offline. I'm going to just do one more for you guys. So we're taking the pips out of our cherries. We've got our chopstick blunt end, the part where that part that I just took off, and then just holding it tightly. Boop. Okay, and that's going to keep it nice and intact. So a nice little tip for you. Okay, so we're going to finish off our cake. This is a two-part series, so in this video we're just making the cake part, and then we're going to finish off our jam and buttercream on top afterwards. So you just want to take your cherries and you want to just pop them on the top like so. And as I mentioned, this is going to create that beautiful wave design. So that's the name of our cake, the wave cake. Alrighty. I'm not pressing them down too hard because I think because I've got some leavening agent in my cake, it's going to rise a little bit, as opposed to, say, like a pound cake doesn't rise as much. Okay, almost there. I think I might put some more. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You can just kind of put your, oh, is that a pip? No. Just kind of put them everywhere. Oops. I think it looks looking good. I have the other ones for me. I've got to save a few for the chef. Alright guys, so I have my oven preheated to 160 degrees with a fan. If you don't have a fan in your oven, you just have a conventional oven, you can use 180, so just like a little bit higher. And I'm going to cook this for about 30 minutes and then just check if it's done. So you'll know when it's done if you put your finger on it, you just kind of press it. Oh, we're reconnecting. So after it's baked, I'm going to cool this completely and then I'll come back with you guys to finish off with our German buttercream. So in the meantime, if you want to check out the vegan pastry cream using panis egg, that's what I'll be using for the topping. So you can have a look at that and see how that's made, and then we'll be back here in a few hours to finish off our cake. So I'll see you soon, guys. Leave your questions and comments in down below. And if you would like to join me in person or online for vegan pastry or baking, check out the Vegan Gastronomy website. We do have some sales coming up shortly for the 4th of July. And I would love to see you there. We do lots of these lives all the time. So anyway, until then, I will see you soon. Bye.